Hello. My name's Carol. Welcome to my channel. This is usually a crafty sewing type of channel, but at the moment, since I'm not at home, it's a bit more of a vlog. Although at the end, I will show you what I've been working on and things that I've purchased. I am coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne, and these are pictures of Newcastle upon Tyne. And this past week has been quite busy because my daughter managed to come over. Very, very happy to see her. She came for a week's visit to visit her grandma, and the first thing that she did was compare our sketchbooks. She'd been scribbling away in the aeroplane, I'd been scribbling away on the metro when I was going to get her, and of course hers is much better than mine. So since we have quite similar interests, we were able to visit art galleries and art shops and crafty places. So I'll give you a little glimpse of what we've been doing. And here I'm walking along the quayside. I'm on the Newcastle side, and on the other side of this river is Gateshead. And this is the Baltic Art Gallery, which is the Centre for Contemporary Art. It's a converted flour mill, and it's been an art gallery since 2002. This is the lovely shop. I love gift shops and the museums and art galleries. And this is all cross-stitch. I don't even know how to do cross-stitch, but this really makes me want to do some cross-stitch. But it's a cool place with really nice views of Newcastle and Gateshead. And when the kids were little, there used to be a room where they do little activities and arty things, which is really nice. It's free to get in, but they do ask for a donation to help out, if you can. So this was one of the exhibitions. It's a British photographer, Killip, who apparently took lots of photographs of the northeast of England from about 1973 to 1985. Well, I was born in the 1970s. So I did recognise some of the themes of that period, shall we say. The economic changes in the northeast, Margaret Thatcher, punks, glue sniffing, which was a really big problem at the time. I was trying to explain to the young people I was with, my daughter, my niece and my nephew, what glue sniffing was and how people would come to school to talk to the kids about the dangers of glue sniffing. But that's just another time in history, and they couldn't really get their heads around that. But I am just in awe of people who can capture moments with their camera, the way that he does. On the Newcastle side of the river, a few days later when we went to the Laing art gallery, Laing or Laing, this is a much older gallery built in 1904. But anyway, they too had a Killip exhibition. And this one actually had a very different vibe. So here it says that he documents the lives of working people and their resilience of spirit, at the same time recording the steady decline of industrial Britain. This too felt relevant to me because both of my parents worked in the shipyards. It employed an enormous amount of people, and there's no trace of that now. No ships are built there now. Anyway, I would definitely recommend these exhibitions. This art gallery as well is free. It just asks for donations if you can. My daughter also went up to see the Angel of the North, also in Gateshead. You can see it from the road, but it's just always nice to see things close up and see the scale of them and get a photo opportunity. What else did we do? Well, we had a day out to Leeds. Me and my daughter both like having a look in the shops, especially the art shops and the fabric shops and the markets. So it was nice to go down to Leeds for the day. Again, I was with the young people, so obviously my daughter and my niece and my nephew, they're all about the same age, so I was knackered. Lots of walking about, but I had a really nice time. I love seeing new places. Never been to Leeds. And it was only a couple of hours on the bus to get there. So this is a city in West Yorkshire, and it has a textile history, mainly in trading wool. And during the Industrial Revolution, it was a mill town known for its flax. It's also known for its iron foundries, so we visited the Royal Armouries Museum. And you know what, we got there far too late. I forget that things in England close quite early, so it shut at 5 o'clock. But I feel like there's just textile inspiration everywhere, so I did take a few snaps, but I would have liked to have had more time here to really explore like this part. Manly said, "Auntie Carol, there's textiles," and I just got my foot in the door, and then they came round and said it was time to leave. But we did get to the indoor market. We went to this nice art shop as well, and I didn't find many fabric shops. I did go into this one, B&M Fabrics, and they were very lovely. But it's a bit like Newcastle. There just aren't many shops that sell fabric now. When I was a kid, there was a few shops, and I feel like they've all just shut down one after another. And maybe people buy online. I don't know, but I feel like it's a shame. I like to touch things. I like to see things with my eyes in real life. So we got back quite late. Like I say, I was worn out, but the young people were fine. So another day we visited the historic town of Morpeth. It's the main town in Northumberland, quaint little cobbled streets, looks very Harry Potterish. And this is the chantry at Morpeth, and it was built in around 1296, but it was all refurbished and bought by the local authorities in the 70s, and it opened in the 80s as this lovely craft centre, and it also houses the Bagpipe Museum, the Northern Poetry Library, and the tourist information. So whenever I go to Morpeth, I always like to pop in here because I love all the handmade stuff and all the local artistry. Look at these little tweed animals and recovered chair and scraps of fabric for sale. I'll show you later when I show you what I bought. The only thing I don't like is that these days, and it was the same in the Leeds Armouries Museum, they don't take cash for anything. You have to pay by card. And I don't like that. I think it's a shame. And now the last crafty place I have to show you is Tynemouth Station. Every weekend here inside the station they have a market, but it's a bit like a crafts fair. There's bits of everything, paintings, photographs, antiques, old toys, but quite a lot of handmade goodies, food. There's food trucks, candles, people selling soaps, jewellery, crocheted animals. I mean, look at these knits. I would be so proud of myself if I'd knit that. Bags made with old blankets. My mum has a blanket like that red checkered one. I might cut it up. And these spoons. Anyway, I'll show you what I bought from there after. And even just Tynemouth is really nice and crafty. This is one of the shop windows. It's just a really pleasant day out at Tynemouth. And again, a place connected to my youth. So that was Tynemouth Priory. This is the beach, the sea at Tynemouth. So since my kids haven't been brought up where I was brought up, I'm always really proud to show them where I come from. And I don't know if they're all that interested at the moment. Hopefully they will be later on. I just hope that they can look back on these types of images and see how beautiful parts of the northeast are, and that this is just a little glimpse. This is Queen Victoria with a seagull on her head, but I tried to wait for him to go, but it just wasn't leaving. So a quick rundown of things that I bought. It won't be long because I didn't buy very much. First thing is from Morpeth Chantry, where I found treasure. 2 bags of this tweed, scrap pieces, £4.50 each bag, scrap pieces of tweed for patchwork. I've had my eye on tweed things for a while. Tweed is very expensive. So this is a rough woolen fabric made from dyed, spun and woven high quality wool. So you pay the price. It has its origins in the Highlands of Scotland and in Ireland. So it's warm and hard wearing, and it's woven using different coloured threads. There are apparently 8 different types of tweed. I've been trying to look them up to see, just to learn a little bit more, but you can't. I'm not clear on what each one is. But I think that this red one here might be a Harris tweed. I'd like to know if it is. I don't know. So Harris tweed, legally protected type of tweed. It's made in the Outer Hebrides off the northern coast of Scotland. And according to the Harris Tweed Act of 1993, Harris tweed is strictly defined as hand-woven by the islanders at their homes in the Hebrides, finished in the Outer Hebrides and made from pure virgin wool, dyed and spun in the Outer Hebrides. So that's just fantastic. So the other types of tweed are Donegal, Saxony, herringbone, Shetland, barleycorn, cheviot, overcheck. So there we go. I was really lucky to find these, and so I've already made 2 little purses as a bit of an experiment for gifts, and I would really like to make a bag. Like I say, I already had my eye on tweed things. I love tweed, and I saw this bag in a shop in Dinan in France, near where I live. Obviously absolutely out of my price range, but I'm going to try and have a go at making something similar to this bag. And of course, once I bought the tweed, I started seeing it everywhere, and I've just been clicking some pictures for ideas of things that I can make with it. In Tynemouth Market, I just bought a few prints of paintings. These ones are greeting cards, but I won't use them as greeting cards. I was thinking of maybe even just trying to frame them and put them on the wall to remind me of the northeast. I bought these 2, painted by Robert Myers from Robert Myers Art. I'll put links below. And this sums up walking through the town in an evening for me. Thursday night late shopping, walking through the town next to Gray's Monument. I feel like he's really summed up the atmosphere. And from a stall just a little bit further on, I bought these 2. So this one I've already bought a few years ago for my mum, a larger print that she has framed on her wall. It's a way that people paint things. This is such a tricky thing to paint, I think, indoor markets. Anyway, this is by Kate Van Suddese, who just, again, I feel like it just sums up this joyful atmosphere. So this one is called Happy Days, Tynemouth Market. And the one behind it, which is called All the Fun of the Fair, Tynemouth Market. And then very last purchase, last thing to show you, is this brush show powder that I had seen other people using over the internet, and I thought it might be some American product that would be hard to find, and it's actually made in Sheffield. I've never seen this in France. And I only bought one because it was quite expensive, $3.85 or something. And it's like a watercolour pigment, a powder. So if you sprinkle it onto a dry fabric and then you spritz it with water, you get kind of an explosion of colour effect. Don't really know how to say this. Or what you can try as well is wet the fabric and then sprinkle that on. So this orange pigment that I bought actually has 3 pigments in it. It gives an orange, a yellow and a kind of pinky red. I don't know. It's not light fast though, so if you're making something to hang on the wall, you might not want to use this. But look, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Any advice would be well appreciated if you can send me in the right direction. And that's all from me for this video. Some images to see you out with. I've been working on this for a while and I'm finally finished a quarter of the passacaglia quilt, or passacaglia. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that, as always. I started another rosette, but I don't have enough of these circle pieces already cut out. So this will be going back in a bag for a while until I can get more circles from home. I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Thanks for watching.